People have some time issues. Yeah, let's start. So myself, Muhammad Noordin, and with my experience in the past, I have been worked with Salesforce, Logitech, and Tiger Analytics notably, and right now I'm working with one of the startup in UAE, and I have been into this data science field for past 8 years, and also I do teach data science for the past, I can say, 5 to 6 years. Notably, I also teach in different institute like Imarticus, Great Learning, and also very much close acquaintance with Inceptez. And with my experience and also with my mentorship experience, I had an opportunity to write a kind of a co-author a book called Data Science with Python with a packed publication. And with my education is concerned, I have done my BTech, and also I did some additional course in Ensofi, and also IAM for product management course. And also I'm a bit open source contributor with GitHub and Stack Overflow. Wherever I do get time, I do just spend time over there. So this is all about myself as an introduction. And when I say mentorship experience, I have been deployed in different bases of training, like conducting workshops, conducting webinars, conducting the full scale course curriculum for data science, and creating a content for data science, and also being a trainer for a data science is concerned. These are some of the reviews and recommendations which I have received. I'm just going fast in order to save some time in the end, because that is more important. Some of the reviews and recommendations, and also some of the reviews after the people who have done the course in Inceptez. So I've just spaced here. And also these are on a brief. I have trained around 2000 plus data science aspirants. That is including on the offline course, online course, workshop, and other corporate training is concerned. So this is all about a very short, fast description about myself. Okay, so let's start the actual subject, what we are supposed to take today. Okay, fine. So first thing is why we are here today. So we are here today to learn about data science, to learn about some of the use cases in data science, and we just need to understand how important data science is concerned, and what can it do in the future, and where it is going through, and what we need to do to catch up the AI in the fast-paced market. Notably in past 2-3 months is concerned, it is crazy. Every day new things is coming up, and people are crazy, and people are mind blowing by seeing the performance of AI, right? So in that case, this is some part of my presentation is a very old part, but still those people who are here for my workshop before, they would have seen this pages for the first 5-10 pages. After that, I have just recreated it for this particular workshop. So first thing, how good is data science? The data scientist or machine learning or data science engineer, whatever is concerned, is it really relevant? How good this data science is in the market? Is it really catching up the market? I just want to understand. I need a proof. I need a justification, right? So in order to get a justification, I need to go for a very authenticated website where I can find how good the data scientist field is. So Glassdoor is one of the very reputed portal where people used to write about the companies they work, and also they write about their resignation, they write about their salary. All those things is people just write their own experience in this Glassdoor.com. So anytime when we join or about to join a company or want to understand about a particular company, we just go to Glassdoor and see how good that particular company is, right? So in that Glassdoor, every year Glassdoor gives us a summary, like what is the best company to work for, what is the best designation people used to work for, what is the best salary making designation, all those things, they just give a summary. Okay, So in that summary, I just found from the year 2016, what is the best job in America. So it was showing the first best job is data scientist with so and so salary and with so and so career opportunity and number of job openings. And again, I moved ahead with 2017. What is the best job? Again, it was showing the best job is in data scientist with so and so job satisfaction and job openings. And third, that is on 2018, again, I could able to see data scientist. And then again, I could able to see data scientist. So I still on 2020 also, I saw data scientist on the second part, second place, and 21 also it was there in top 3. So I didn't paste it over there. So you can just go through and see this particular link, and you can find on each and every year what is the best job available as far the Glassdoor is concerned. Okay, so that is one proof we have got. And now another proof, that is from the IBM. There is a research happened, and they were just collecting all the openings of different designation, and particularly here for a data scientist, how many job openings have been open from the past 2016 to 2020. So you can see the trend is clearly uprising. It is increasing year on year, and it is increasing drastically also, right? And the reason for the first thing is there is a demand, and second thing is there is a low supply also. So as far 2020 year is concerned, US market is saying 28% of data scientists will be required, and it is growing in demand from the previous year. So in that case, this machine learning engineer, data scientist, all those particular data science category is increasing in different folds from the previous year. But the openings are increasing, but the demand, it couldn't able to supply. It couldn't able to supply the demand because of less people are there in the market. So next question is, we have a proof there is a high demand. There is a second proof, there is a low supply. And to break up that task, so why the demand is high? So now the question, need to answer this question, right? So the reason for this is, you name any domain, everywhere data science is used. Every domain. If you can think about manufacturing, you can think about self-driving, or you can think about a web industry, you can think about a space science, everywhere this data science is used. So need of data science has been horizontally increased, and because of that, there has been a lot of opportunities opening, and the number of opportunities increasing, but the supply is very less. So that is one of the reason of this data scientist field as being flourishing. And these are some of the articles which I have pasted here about the job trend, about the data science opening, and about how much number of people is required in future. All those things I have just pasted here. You can just go for a reference. I'm just going fast because our main subject is on the use case. So this is one of my theory which I have given, that is why data science or AI has been increased in this much fold in the past 5 to 10 years. So in era 1, on any data is concerned, we just put in Excel and we do some data analysis, we do some chart, and we just deliver whatever we are supposed to say, or what we want to project for the future or something. So Excel is one of the tools, IBM, SPSS, Stata. So if you note, all those 3 software is a proprietary software. It is not for free. Excel, we do use, but it is chargeable for any company to use Excel. Or Stata, it is a statistical tool where any big short company or enterprise company can use this tool to describe about the data and to predict whatever you want to do for the next quarter or next day, for next period of time, whatever it concerns. So now the first thing is, first era is on proprietary software, and second thing is it is only used on the enterprise company. So very less amount of people are using these tools. Okay, and what came in era 2? Era 2, there are some tools came up. It was fascinating, like Google Analytics, Tableau, SAP, Power BI, all those things came up. Again, that is an proprietary software, but it was doing enormously fascinating job in doing a good amount of visualization. that anybody can just do a drag and drop and do something, and they can infer about the data what is happening. Yeah, again, if you see the outline is only the people who are enterprise level, only the people who are in a big short company, they were using this kind of tools. The end user, they never had a chance to do this kind of things. So era 3 is where the revolution happened. The revolution happened with the Hadoop, big data. Again, Google gave away their white paper on Google file system. So based on this Google file system, Hadoop has been created, and it has made for free, open source, and everybody was starting Hadoop, and everybody got to know how to handle big data, how to handle large data, how to save the data, how to transactionize the data, how to process the data using the Spark, Hive, Pig, all those tools which has been in the ecosystem of Hadoop, and everybody has a power to save the data. And now, not only that, now with the help of the cloud, AWS, which came in as a pioneer and gave away their particular platform to end user, where anybody can become a owner of supercomputer in a matter of a minute, and they can own the large data in their particular in a particular account, right? And without owning their machine, they just go for a rent and take the rent and save how much ever data they want. So now they have a technology, and everybody have the resource to utilize that data and technology. And now with having a data, what they can do, they need to do some analysis, so that when the tools like R and Python came up, and with the help of these programming software, people with the libraries which has been extensively created and supported and made to open source, and everybody started using those library to make use of machine learning to find the statistical understanding, and also the predictive knowledge of what they can do in the future. So, and it's for free, anybody can access, everybody can access. So everybody got the bar of using these free tools to predict for the future. And that when this data science, ML, AI, that become revolutionized, and everybody started using it, and every company started adopting it. And now company are in a pressure to use this technology to fight with the competitor. If they are not using these technology, they cannot able to stand with their competitor in the market, because every competitor, they are using this technology to go ahead in the market, go ahead to be in a forefront for the next coming year. So in that case, every competitor, every company, they started using this technology, and in that case, openings started increasing, and in that case, they can increase the opportunity, but the people who can able to learn, they are not in par with the number of opportunity they have. So that was the reason where there was a huge demand and less supply for data science is concerned. This one, why Python with R? So there is, again, I need a justification. For a justification, I just took a data from Stack Overflow on how many people ask the question on Python with respect to R and other language. So in that case, it is very easy, clear winner that Python has become very popular, and it has become very much sensation in among the developers who use different language. They started adopting Python because of its ease, because of its open source, because of its lot of support. So because of that, people started adopting Python for machine learning and AI. Okay, so now there is a lot of paradigm coming in. So whenever I start anything on data science, people ask this question: what is AI? What is machine learning? What is deep learning? What is data analysis? What is data analytics? All those questions comes up as an yearly learner of AI. So now, in that context, I just give away a story to understand what it is. So then the term AI is not a new term. So the term AI was introduced in 1950s. Okay, and the term machine learning, which was there in 1980s, okay, and deep learning, which is very, very new, and it is in it was introduced after 2020 2010. And now, to explain AI, ML, and deep learning, so let's say, let me give a small story so that you can infer that story to this particular paradigm. Let's say a person is born, a baby is born, and when he was a kid, he or she was a kid, uh, he have been told that you should become a doctor, or he or she says, I want to become a doctor. Okay, so he or she is saying, I want to become a doctor, but at that moment of time he doesn't know how to become a doctor, and what do doctor, what kind of effort should I do to become a doctor. He doesn't know that. So to start with, to achieve a goal of becoming a doctor, he starts his schooling, and he studies the primary, secondary, and higher secondary, and gets a good mark. And that is when gets a good mark and get into a college of MBBS. So he does something to become a doctor by learning in his primary, secondary, and his what is it, 11th and 12th, whatever it is. So still he has not become a doctor, but with the help of the schooling, he could able to achieve to become a doctor. So now I can say the schooling is kind of a machine learning, you can think of, where it started. uh, he learned about human anatomy, he learned about biology, he learned about botany, zoology, all other subjects, and he learned about the curriculum to get some good mark to get into MBBS. So that is where machine learning is concerned. So now once he or she has got into a college where he or she studies actual human anatomy and uh, overview of anatomy, and he or she goes into detail of human anatomy, and he becomes a doctor. And then after completing MBBS, so that is where his dream is uh, came true, right? So similarly, in the year 1950s, the term AI is coined, and people were kind of excited and said that we want to create an intelligence artificial like human being, where it can do a work of human being. But at that moment, nobody knows how to do that. Okay, nobody knows how to do that, but still we want to create a kind of a intelligence which is artificially does the work of human being. Slowly, with the help of mathematics, statistics, probabilities, people started getting into a lot of data which is coming in. People started saving the data in computers. When you say notably 1980s, that is where data is getting stored in the hardware. And before that, everybody is having data in the physical paper. uh, After data is getting in a soft copy, there is database has been introduced, tables have been introduced, and how to save the data, people know how to save the data. So now with the help of data, people started analyzing what is happening in the data with the help of stats. And what will happen in the future, just by giving a probability, this is what will happen, a probability, a simple basic statistics and probabilities. With the help of this concept, they call it as a machine learning, where machine can learn something with the help of a data in the past to predict the future. That is what a machine learning is. So now that machine learning was doing some basic job with the help of data and algorithm to do something, to predict something in the future. Now, what happens in 2010? So something great happened in 2010, where people started analyzing about the human brain, how the heck the human brain works. Then they got to know that human brains have these neurons. Each neuron is carrying an impulse. That impulse have some information, and with the help of the biologist and the help of computer science, they just combined the biology and computer science field combined, and they created a field called deep learning, where we are going to learn a data with the help of a network, with the help of network, where how the human brain works. They just replicated the human brain's functionality in an algorithm, and they coined a term called deep learning. Now, with the help of deep learning, they were able to achieve the artificial intelligence. Like the deep learning is the help of deep learning. Now that have become a core structure to make a machine where it can artificially give an intelligence like a human being. So that is what we see in a real-time basis. The Chat GPT is one of the kind of deep learning AI technique where it has been doing an enormous job in creating an intelligence like human being, right? Uh, so it is a very simple, again, a simple term of what is machine learning. Like a baby is there. We make a baby to learn what is apple. We just show the apple and just tell this is an apple. And second, we just show a banana and say this is a banana. And then a baby learns what is apple and what is banana with a lot of example. And with that example, you show another data and ask the baby what it is based on the example it has learned. So that is called a baby learning. So baby is learning from different examples. Now, similarly, I just change the machine in terms of change the machine instead of baby. Now do the same example. I teach the machine with all the examples, and I gave I gave another data to for a machine to find what it is. Then we call it a machine learning. Very simple. We just give a lot of example, and with that example it learns, and with that example whatever it learns we call it as a model, and with that model we will give an input to find the prediction what will happen and what it is. That's called as machine learning. So traditionally we were just having an input and then we have a program to find the output. And now we have an input and output we just give to the machine learning algorithm, and it will find what is the logic behind it. We don't want to worry about the logic. Logic can be defined or found by the machine learning algorithm. So that's just very simple. Any question here so far? Uh, everybody clear? Everybody clear? Just give me a heads up. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, Aravind, yes, Tipal, yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Good, good. Thank you. Fine. So now I have just covered the basics of data science, what it is, and we are not covering how here in this class, because when you say how is going to be a lot of mathematics involved there, and we are just very much concerned about what is what. That's it in this particular session. Okay, so be concerned about that. Okay, so now again to give a short definition of machine learning, all those things. So machine learning is simply using an algorithm to analyze data and make a prediction. That's it. Example, for an example, you can think of like personalized recommendation, a fraud detection, and whatever. You can just think about like house price prediction or a marketing prediction, or a loan can be given or not. All those things are machine learning algorithm. Okay. So now what is artificial intelligence? So as I said, machine performing tasks that would normally require a human intelligence. So we are creating a machine which can replace a human intelligence. That is what to call as artificial intelligence, like self-driving car, visual assistants, and like the chat GPT, which can give you a recommendation, or which can give you a write a code, which can debug your code. All those things are artificial intelligence. Okay. And third is natural language processing. What is NLP? This is also another question people ask. NLP is a branch of machine learning and deep learning where we are going to work with the language. That's it. So instead of working with numbers here, we are not going to work with numbers. The input is going to be a language, like what we speak. So whatever the language we speak, that is going to be the input, and based on the input you provide and based on the instruction you provide, machine will give you the output. Okay, so it can be a sentiment analysis, it can be text voice to text or text to voice, or it can be a chat bot. All those things comes under natural language processing. Okay, so when you say chat bot or voice recognition technology, it combines with deep learning to come to come up with a system where it can do a great immersive and mind-boggling job where we cannot do it. Okay, so it learns from a lot of data. That is one of the key reason how it becomes more intelligence. Okay, and this is some of the question people very ask this question on a recent past, like what is BERT, what is GPT, what is transformer, what is transfer learning, all those things. But still, I'm here adding, if people who are well versed with this technology, you can understand. Otherwise, you can just skip. No need to panic. So BERT is a technology which has been introduced as a part of NLP, where we have a transformer kind of an architecture, where using a transformer architecture, we have an encoder and decoder. So encoder is basically called a BERT. Okay, encoder is basically called a BERT. So it understands the language better, and it can do a very good classification problem. Okay, so it can do a very good classification problem, where it has immense knowledge of trained with a lot of data. Okay, then what is a GPT? GPT is a decoder part of a transformer. GPT is a decoder part of a transformer, where it can write the language. It is a natural generation unit. Okay, so natural generation unit. So it can able to generate a language by having a context of huge data it have read in the past in the training process. Okay, so with the help of the huge data in the past, it knows how the language has been structured. It knows how the grammar has been structured. It knows the information about the data, and based on that, whatever the question it asks, it can able to understand your question and generate the answer based on the information it has been learned in the huge data it has. Okay, like using a Chat GPT, you can create a chatbot actually. So whatever the Chat GPT, so GPT is a technology which has used to create a chatbot. That is what called Chat GPT. Okay, so example of AI, yeah, everybody knows Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, self-driving car, whatever we have in the market. All those things are called AI, artificial intelligence product. Okay, examples of ML, yeah, I have given you already. So it's like simple recommendation engine, fraud detection, classification problem, whatever you can do it using a ML. And NLP, again, AI, which is a part of NLP, whichever example I gave you there, Siri, Alexa, which works with the language. It is not a numeric data. So it is work with it. The input is going to be the language. That's how it's also an example of NLP is concerned. Yeah. So this is the summary of whatever we have learned AI, ML, and NLP. Any questions so far? So again, I have gone very fast. I know this is not the phase I used to teach, but still, for the time being, I'm just going fast because I need to cover a very important task. Any questions here? Any questions here? Or I can take it. If you have any question or concerns, I can take it. Otherwise, we can go to the next topic. Any questions? Everybody clear? Can you just ping me with S? Everybody clear? S. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, Arjun. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So, yeah. So this is the main part of today's session. So let's go with a real-time example of what we can build using an AI with the help of a Chat GPT, which is people are very much crazy about this Chat GPT, right? So I was thinking what I can present you as an application which will be of most interest. Then obviously there is a huge traction going on Chat GPT. So with the help of Chat GPT, we are getting any answers which Chat GPT can answer. Mostly all the answers which it can give you, apart from the real time or a current what can I say, the uh, the current news or real-time news it cannot able to give you. But still, till the threshold what they have for the data which they have trained, it can able to give you all the answers. Okay, that is the only flaw which ChatGPT has. And also there are some of the other complaints issue or sensitive issues. All those things is there, but still for us it is very helpful. Okay, fine. So now what we are trying to do here is using ChatGPT, we can able to get the answer which is there in the internet. That's great. But still, let's say you have your own data, or you have some proprietary data, or you have some in-house data, and you want to create a in-house data. With the help of in-house data, you want to create a Chat GPT out of it. You want to create a custom Chat GPT with your own data. Then how do you do that? You can think of like, you might have a document, or kind of your code documentation, or you might have your business documentation data, or you might have a Notion page where you have all the tickets, or you have a Jira data, whatever you have for your particular organization. Let's say you want to understand, or you want to answer find anything on their Jira ticket or your documentation. So it is very difficult for you to go and find the ticket and then to understand what is happening. Instead of, you create your Chat GPT with the data what you want, and that can be very helpful for you to fetch the answer on a real time basis, on a very fast pace, very fast. So that's how we are trying to do here. Okay. So now, what kind of data can I take to create a custom Chat GPT? So again, to answer that question, I was still thinking what I can take so that we all are in the same page. So I was thinking about scraping a data from a Google review. So what kind of review can I scrape? So that is another question I was thinking. Then I got to thought about the Inceptez. So where we are in, so let's say Inceptez Technologies. And if you go here, we have reviews here, right? So there are around 862 reviews. So let's say I want to understand what is this reviews all about, or I want to find a summary of this review, or I want to find about some specific trainer, how they are, all those things. If I want to understand, so it's like, we usually, whenever I see a review, we just go through one by one and we read one or two, three reviews, and then we just finalize how good this particular institute is, or any other or restaurant, anything. So now let's say if we take this data and put it into a Chat GPT, and then if we ask the question from this data through Chat GPT, if I can get an answer, that is great, right? So that is what I'm thinking to do. So first thing is, to do this, first thing I need to scrape the data from the Google review. So how to scrape the data, there is one simple way where if I am the owner of this Google Inceptez technology, I can go to the Google and get the API and directly get the data very easily. But what if anybody from outside, if they don't have an API key, how they can get it? So that is how we use scraping. It's for free. We just need to learn a Selenium. Using a Selenium, we can just scrape all the data, how much ever we have. So here we have 862 reviews. Let's say we have lakhs of reviews. Again, we can scrape all the data using a Selenium. So I'm going to do this Selenium web scraping and get the data. And after getting the data, we are going to take this data to train it for a Chat GPT. Clear? Any questions so far? Everybody clear with my roadmap, whatever I told you? Yes, understood. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Arjun. Okay, yes, okay, fine. So before I start, I am just going to tell you what is Selenium. So Selenium, I hope everybody, not everybody, if anybody in testing background, you should have known this Selenium. So Selenium is a simple library in Python, okay? And that's some automation. You can write an automation script to do something. Let's say you can write a script to open a browser and go to this particular page and click this particular link. Everything you can do it using a Selenium. Okay, that is what a Selenium is known for. So we are going to use a Selenium with Python to scrape this data. Okay, so let me just write it, open a IDE. Let me just open a terminal. Yeah. So I have a terminal which is running on localhost. Okay, so we are going to use Jupyter Notebook for this particular exercise. So let's say I'm going to create a folder. Uh, okay, so give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So first thing is I need to use a Selenium, right? As I told you, everybody can see the screen, right? I'm in the screen of Jupyter Lab. Can you able to see everybody?
Yeah, we are able to.
Okay, good. Thank you. So let's start with importing the Selenium. So there is something called from Selenium. Import. So we are going to import the WebDriver. Okay. So I will just tell you as much as I can. So I will just have a time break here, so that if I cannot able to manage taking the time, I can just show you the pre-written code, whatever I have. Okay. So Selenium WebDriver, where this Selenium, this WebDriver object can be used to instantiate to open a browser for you. Okay. So now let's say using this WebDriver, how I can open this browser. Okay, simply what you can do is you can just use this WebDriver dot, you can just say Chrome. So that's it. So this will open a Chrome for you. Okay, if I just run this, see, it is opening a Chrome page. Okay, so I'm just closing this and coming back, and let me say, so driver, creating an object for this Chrome driver, and let me say driver dot, I can just say that get, so driver dot get, and I can say, let's say uh, google.com. I can just say https. If I just run this, it will open a Google, it will open a Chrome, and then it will go for a google.com. So this is an automation where it is just going to this particular page of this particular, sorry, open a Chrome and going to this particular web page. Now let's say I want to go to the Inceptez technology of a review, right? So if I want to go to Inceptez technology, let's say copy that. Okay, and I need to go to this particular review. So now this is the link which I am more concerned about, that this URL
Routine,
is
right?
what,
You're
sorry.
sharing only with yeah, you're sharing only with Jupyter notebook screen, but apart from that, Chrome and other,
Oh, okay, okay.
it's not visible. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you need to share your desktop instead of single screens.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing. Now is it visible? If I go here.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
is it visible,
fine.
guys? Is it visible, guys?
Yeah, yeah, fine, fine.
Yeah. So I was saying, okay, I didn't, you didn't know, you'd have seen this. Okay, let me just run this again. So if I just run this, see here. this will automatically open and go to the google.com. This is what is automation selenium. Okay, so now let's say I'm going to say this URL. So URL is going to be this, and I'm just going to say URL. So if I run this, see, it will go to directly to the Inceptez Technologies reviews page. Okay, great. Super. So now I just want to get all the reviews. So now one more challenge here is, if you see, there is only 10 reviews which is showing. And if you want to see apart from the 10th review, you want to scroll here. So see here, you want to scroll here, then only this other 10 reviews will be loaded. So you want to scroll this till the end of the reviews, whatever we have. So I want to run a script where I need to tell what is the time, or how much time you want to do a scrolling. Okay, so for that, first of all, to find how many reviews I have. So if you see here, there are 862 reviews. So I can just, if you want to see how I can scrape this one, is you can go to inspect. Okay, you can see here, and here in this particular element, if you go here, you can see this div class. Okay, okay, and I can just right click and you can just copy and copy X path. Okay, so if you do this, copy this, yeah, so this is the path where your number of reviews are located. So just to I'm just copying from my previous notebook which I have written. Okay, so based on this particular XPath, what I can do is driver.find element, and using XPath, I'm giving this particular information. And now if I just run this, see what it is going to say. It is saying there are 862 reviews. So from this, we have found 862 reviews. Good. So now from using this 862 reviews, we are going to scroll, right? The number of times I want to scroll, how much time I want to scroll, I'm going to decide using this. So there are 10 reviews which is visible initially. So in that case, I want to scroll 862 by 10. That is 86 time I want to scroll. Then only I can get the whole number of data with me. So I need to do this. So that will take time. I can say it will take around 5 to scroll every data, and after that we are going to get this data. So how I can get the data? Again, using this element, I can just go to this particular div tag and go to inspect element. Let's say here, copy and inspect element, copy and copy XPath, and from there I'm going to get all the information here, and I will be getting it in a variable and I will be parsing it. Simply, that's how I need to do. Okay, so for time being, I'm not going to run this because it will take time. So instead, I have pre-run this particular code. So let's say here, uh, Google review. Yeah, yeah. So here, this is the driver which we spoke about, and there's a number of reviews which we have found. And from the number of reviews, so we are going to scroll, right? So this is the number of scrolling I'm doing. So this is actually 10 is enough. So this will scroll the number of time you want based on the number of reviews you have. So this will scroll based on this argument. Okay. And finally, after scrolling everything, I'm just going to get the data using Beautiful Soup. Again, a Beautiful Soup is another library which is there in Python, which is helpful in dealing with the HTTP data. Okay, any HTML or XML, whatever you have, this will parse you on a very efficient way. So you can just read this from GPT-3. You can just say Beautiful Soup is a Python library used for web scraping purpose. It helps extract the data from HTML and XML files by parsing the web pages and navigating through element easily. So using this particular library, I'm going to get all the data from this particular class, what I told you. So this class is what? This particular class, which I showed you. So this is a particular class that is M6QERB, all this thing you see, right? So that is what I'm just using here. Okay. uh, Another, if you are in a automation engineer, or if you are writing a script like this, so you should be very much careful, because the class name can be changed, the attributes name can be changed, and they do change it for this particular purpose. Also, as a company, they do have some norms, and they do have a threshold that they change their class and all those stuff, because they don't want to people scrape the data. Okay, so in that case, there will be some maintenance required when their uh, the script is not working. I can share the script to you. It will be running today, and after 1 month or 2 months, you might note that script will not work, because the class name might be changed, or they might have altogether changed their architecture, all those things, whatever it may be. Okay, that is one thing to be mindful. Okay, so now this reviews will have all the data, okay, with the HTML as well. So if I want to show you, let me show you this. Mm, it again. Let me just give a, so it is opening that page, and next I'm going to use this to get the number of reviews. Okay, so now I'm going to do a scroll div. So now if I go here, see here, it will automatically scroll it for you instead of you go on scrolling it. So I've just taken my hand, so it will keep on scrolling your data till it reaches the final reviews. Okay, so it will go on strong, so this will take time. Okay, that is what I told you, it will take time. Okay, once you have this is done, you will have a reviews here. So now from the reviews we are going to extract the text, what is the actual text. So this is my review text, and then we are going to scrape the review rating. What is the rating given here? That is here you have this, right? 5 ratings or 4 ratings, whatever ratings you will find here. And who is the reviewer, so name of the reviewer, and how many reviews they have given in the past. That is how many reviews, that is 13 reviews they have given in the past, 1 review they have given in the past. So how many reviews they have given in the past. So this four data I'm scraping, and I'm keeping it in a data frame. So data frame is a kind of a table you can think of if you are an database background. And in the table you have 4 columns placed, and all the columns have the respective data whichever we have scraped here. So you can see here, so the message is a column which have a text, review text, and rating, what is the rating they have given, and who is the reviewer, and what is the past reviews, what is the number of past reviews they have given. Okay, there are 862 rows, as I told you. So this is the actual data what we have, okay, which is appended here. Okay, so now after I have the data in the data frame, I'm writing it in a CSV, so that it can be used for any purpose. If I close my monitor, if I close my machine, my data will be gone. So instead of saying my data, I'm just persisting in a CSV. So this is what the data what we have got, okay, from the scraping. Okay, this is the data which we have scraped with the reviews. Now you can see some none, because these are the reviews which no text and just only rating is given. No text is there, only rating is given. Okay, so now fine, now we have got the data. So now with this data what we are going to do, so I'm going to do 2 things here. Again, this will be very helpful for you. Using Chat GPT, there is a lemma model where when I say LLM, it is large language model. So using a large language model, you can also create a query. You can just ask for this particular answer. I need this particular answer. What is the answer, and what is the query to get this answer? So that is again great technology, and it has been trained with all the SQL query in the in the web, and Chat GPT got a knowledge about how to write a query. And now if you ask the question in a common English language, this is what I want, that will help you in giving you the query and answer for that. Okay, so that is what we are going to do first thing, and then we're going to build a Chat GPT. Okay, to do this, first thing I need to do is I want to dump this data into my DB. So I have created a simple MySQL Lite, a simple MySQLite, where I have just read this CSV, whatever I have saved here, I'm just reading it. And after reading it, I'm just creating a SQLite 3, a simple SQLite 3 DB. And I'm just dumping this data DF into this particular table. Okay, so table name is review, and the DB name is so the DB is mydb.sqlite. And this will, I'm just putting all the data here, this connection and data and commit and close. So now this is a DB which I have mydb.sqlite, is it, which have a table called review, which has all the data in it. Any doubts here so far? Clear? So if you can stop me here, if you, everybody clear? Yes or no? Yes, if you have
Yes,
understood,
Nordin. Yes, Nordin.
ping me. Yes. Yeah.
Noor, so is the SQLite, is that the one that you created now?
Yeah. SQLite is a simple DB here. So SQLite is a simple DB. Again, it is just a library. That's it. So nothing. It's simple library. If you are a Mac user, you don't want to install also. It will be there. Auto build, auto. What can I say? Available in your Mac. And for Windows, I'm not sure. For Mac, you don't want to install. Import SQLite 3, which will have a library, which will have a driver to utilize this DB from your Python. Okay, so SQLite 3 connect, and you're just going to connect with the name mydb.sqlite. You're just creating a I'm creating this DB here in my page, in my folder itself. I'm not going somewhere outside. Okay, and once I have created a DB, I want to insert this table. The table name is review. I'm just creating this table. That is create. This is the SQL command. So create table, if not exist, review, and the name of the column table, message, rating, reviewer, and past reviews. So this is the table name. I'm just creating a table name. Clear?
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Okay, that's it. Very simple. Okay, here I'm passing the data here. So this will have all the data for me. Now, if you want to check whether this is there or not, what I can do is, let me just tell you. Let me open a okay, so here I can just write SQLite. Okay. Just traversing through this review data. Okay, I have created actually wait. Table. I have created a ID for that. Let me open that for that. Okay, so this is the ID which I've created. Okay, yeah. Now if you just run select start from review limit 10. Okay, there's a review which we have got. Okay, so here, this is a review table, and we have got the data in the DB. Okay, clear? Yes or no? Everybody clear so far? So what we have done is, so far we have scraped the data from the Google review using a Selenium, and after scraping the data, we got the data in data frame and saved it in a CSV. Also, we saved it in a DB. So far clear, everybody? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Fine. So now we have got the data in DB. Now, as I said, we will be creating a, a, a GPT kind of a environment where you can ask the question in English and you can get the query for whatever the answers you want as in a query as an output. Okay. So that is what I'm trying to build next. So to build that, so yeah. So to build that, again, this is what I'm going to use. That is long chain. So lang chain. Yeah. So this is a framework which is used to build a large language model. And we are going to use this LangChain library, which has been introduced recently to do some fascinating job what Chat GPT is doing. They are giving us power to do whatever you want with your own data instead of you building your own machine, own Chat GPT kind of a machine. So it is a similar kind of a transfer learning what we are going to do here. Okay, so here, see here, so from LangChain, I'm going to use this OpenAI SQL database chain. So this is what a main thing what we are going to do. So this will enable us to learn the data what we have in SQL, and from the data what you have, you can prompt the question whatever you want to ask, and that GPT will understand your query, and then it will give you the answer in the SQL query what you are asking for. Okay, so to do all this thing, we need an API key. So OpenAI is not free, it is a proprietary, right? They are charging on each prompt you send and each output you are going to get. So you need to create an API key to run this. So this is an API key which I have created for my purpose, and each time when I run, there is going to be some cost which is going to be involved based on the tokens you send. Okay, so this API keys you want to create, so this is my API key, and don't pass it on your API keys once you have created, or don't put it in GitHub with your API key, so that if somebody uses, you won't get to know who's using, and you will have the bill on the end of the day. Okay, so I'm just showing this because anyway, after this session, I will remove or delete this API key. So in that case, I'm okay with that for showing you people. So this is an API key which I have. And from that API key, I'm going to set up in my OS environment and OpenAI. So next, I don't think this, okay, fine. Let me check. So next thing is I want to set up this SQL database from this LangChain. I want to say where is the database available. So this is the database, whatever we have saved. I'm just telling this is the database I have. So you can see the database, and I'm just creating an object for this. A DB is my object for this. So I'm creating an OpenAI object with temperature equal to 0. So temperature is, it's like how creative you want to become. So if you are making temperature equal to 0, so it is not creative. Each and every time, if you are running a same question, it will give you the same answer almost 99% of time. If you are making a temperature as some number, you are asking your model to be more creative, so that every time you ask, it will be a different answer. Okay, so I'm just taking temperature equal to 0. That's fine for me. And so this is a template, a default template, which is how you want to create. This is a default template how you will get an output from the GPT. Okay, for this particular SQL database. So I'm creating a prompt template here. So this is a prompt template where I want input, and I want a table info, and I want a dialect. And this is a default template, default template I want as an output. Okay, so the final process, that is DB chain, SQL database chain, create this LLM model with the DB whatever I have whatever I have given here, that is this MySQL mydb.sqlite, and this is the prompt I want as an output. And verbose true is a log you want to show in the intermediate process, and then return the intermediate steps you want to give us an output. Also for intermediate steps, you just say true. So you want to basically, I'm just asking the model to return all the intermediate steps, whatever it follows, to get the final output. Okay, now with the help of this DB chain, you can post the question. So let's say I want to say I want to write a query. How many rows? How many rows are there? Okay, just running this. So it is starting the process. So entering new SQL database chain question. I'm asking, the question is how many rows are there? SQL query is running. It will find the relevant query for this, and it will tell you what is the query and what is the answer for the query also. So let's wait for, let's say, some seconds. So it should give the answer. It should not take this much time. I ran this morning. I think some caching is taking some time. Any questions over I can take? So meantime, any question you have, guys? Why we need to save CSV then to SQLite DB? Yeah, CSV is just to save the data in the hard disk, and so that I don't want to scrape it again. If I don't save it in CSV, again I want to scrape the data. That is the reason. SQLite DB, this is just for this particular exercise. You might have a large DB in your organization or in your projects, and if you want to create or write a query, a complex query where you don't know how to write a query, so you can ask the question in an English language, and that will return you in a query, that is whatever the query you are writing for. So that is the reason I just want to show this particular exercise, so that I'm just putting it in a SQL Lite DB. That's the reason. Any other question? Okay. It is telling my API key is incorrect. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, for some weird reason it has been deleted. Let me use a new key. It should be fast. Yeah, see here, I got an answer here. So how many rows are there? I asked a question, and it is telling this is the relevant query you can run so that you can get that answer. So select count of star from reviews, and the SQL result is this. And from that result, it is saying there are 862 rows. Is it great? right? So let me just write some other, let me just ask that how can you break down the number of reviews based on the rating? So basically I'm asking for each, how many reviews are there? Yeah, it's very fast. See here, it is telling select rating count of star from review group by rating. That is 1 star. It is, there are 2 on total of 862, 4 star 48, and 5 star 812. So it is very fast, guys. It's very fast, and you can get the answer on a very on a flash of your eye. So let me give some other question. Like, uh, can you uh, can you print
Uh,
all the
Hello.
reviews
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt.
news is
Can you hear
mentioned?
me?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like it's like most kind of a sequel kind of questions also you are asking. Is there any option to ask the questions like this? Like out of 846 reviews, 862 reviews, how many of them given positive reviews for us?
yeah, that we can do that. I have not gone there. So this is the first step where
Okay.
using a MySQL DB, what you can answer. So basically we are trying to find the query from the natural language input. Okay, it's only a query. So that part, whatever you ask, we will be going to that particular part in next after this. Okay, Prabhu, can we data frame instead of DB? No, for this particular thing, the input should be a deep database. So that's the reason I'm just using SQLite. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay. Can we try open key for free? Also, Selenium we used because of video. No, for Selenium you don't want any API key. No API key. We don't have any free API key available. Okay. We need to scroll and automate the red, else beautiful super scrapey would be enough. Yeah, anything is enough. If you are well versed with scrapey, if you are well versed with any other library, you can do it. So ultimate goal is to, I need to have an reviews which need to be scraped. So I used basically this beautiful soup to pass it, and before that I use Selenium driver to get the data out of it using automation. For API key, you need to get the uh, key which is not for free. Okay. Yeah. See here, I have asked, can you print all the reviews where Noor is mentioned? So that my name is mentioned. So it is telling these much of reviews which have mentioned my name. So this, all these places you have my name. That's what it is saying. Okay, good. This is cool, right? Where you can write any kind of a question. Here I don't have much column, so my column is very restrictive. I don't have a numerical column. If I have a numerical column, I can give a question in terms of any kind of a um, um, what can I say, any kind of a complex query where I need to do some mathematical imputation, so which will give you the answer in a very faster place. But here it's mostly textual data, so I cannot ask the question something on textual data. Let me write something on, let's say, can you print, can you find the how can I say, previous reviews, right? What was that? Yeah, past reviews. Based on this, let me figure out some question. So can you find the reviewer with past reviews more than, let's say, 10? Not sure this will more than 10. Yeah, it is telling these much of people have for past review more than 10. Wow. Okay, good. Any questions here, guys? Any questions?
Noor, are we mentioning this table name, review table name anywhere here? Or it's automatically taking
Which one?
the
Table?
review table? Yeah, every time the query is generating, right? So are we mentioning in our code like to check this table?
which table you are mentioning?
Yeah, review, select star from review table, is that right?
Yeah, this review table, because I have mentioned what is
Okay.
the DB here. So based on this DB only, it is giving. So from this
Yeah,
DB, I'm
that is a DB name, right?
Yeah.
That DB name, fine. But inside the DB, the table is there, right?
Yeah, there is only one table here. You can
Okay,
also ask the
okay.
question with multiple tables also.
Okay, so okay, fine. That's what the doubt actually. So only one table is there. So all the queries you are making, so you're making
Yeah,
like
correct.
automatically it is fetching from that table.
Yeah.
If it is multiple table, like we need to mention the table name, correct? In
Yeah, here
the
it's here.
question.
So I'm just mentioning everywhere. Can you break down the number of reviews? When I say reviews, it is fine. It is identifying it is a reviews table. You can also, let me say you can have a table called user table. So you can just say, can you break down the number of reviews based on the user based on the user, how many are there who have given a review? Like that, if you give,
Okay.
it will try to
Okay.
join the table and give you the answer.
Okay. In your question only, it is recognizing the table name, right?
Yeah, that's an intelligence. That's what it is doing.
Fine.
Okay.
Noor Johnson, can I ask a question?
Can you be louder? Is it from
Yeah.
my end?
Yeah, Noor Johnson, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's very feeble. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, the question is that when we ask this question, question in the English format, it will formulating that SQL query and giving us executing against the table and giving us an output.
Yeah.
Can I get the output probably if I use some Seaborn or Matplotlib? Can I see that thing in a visual way, in a graphical? Correct.
Yeah, for that, this particular library cannot give you, but still there are a library available where you can give that input and you can get an output in a graphical interface also. But for this particular exercise, it is only going to give the query, or based on the query result, you can create a, let's say you have got this result, right? You can give us an input to any functions, whatever you have, and based on this input, you can create a UI, right?
Yeah, that is manually, correct.
Yeah, not manually. You can write a function. Right?
Okay.
You can write a function, and based on the input, you do something in your function that will give you an output based on the input changes.
Okay.
But still, there are libraries available, but I have not added here for that. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Any other question, guys? No question? Everybody clear? Can you please respond me with so get the worst review given. Please try with questions. So I have some other question here. Can you provide a workflow diagram for this process so that even non-programmer can understand? Okay, I will try to make it. Get the worst review given. So when you want to say worst review given from this using a query, it can be based on the rating. So that is how I can give, but not on the reviews to read and understand. So SQL cannot understand the language, right? It can just understand the numbers. So now here, what I can do is instead of going that way, what I can do is I can just say, can you print all the reviews less than all the reviews less than 2 rating. Okay, this one I can do. Is there no review? 2 rating we saw, right? Actually, timeout.
No, probably the spelling.
We found. Yeah, we got. So we have got 2 reviews, which is less than 2 rating. So this is the 2 ratings, which is less than 2. Okay. So yeah, any other question? Yeah, you were John Sundararajan. So you're asking a workflow diagram for this process so that even a non-programmer can understand. Okay. Okay. How can I?
Noor, like one more question. Like you printed 2 reviews, right? So can I store that in the new table by using this? I mean, can I ask them?
You want to store
No,
in
no. Yeah, new table. Instead
new
of in the
table?
review table, create a new table and add the new records on the two records. I mean, the below the
You want to create a new table and add this record.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah, you can do
the
that. So
2
you can
ratings.
just get a result here.
Okay.
Result here, and you want to get this data, right? You can just simply write this way, intermediate steps, and you can just say 0. So this is the result you have got, and now you can do whatever you want. So this is just a simple list of data, and you can do whatever you want. Okay, you can just say print. Can you print only? Sorry. Can you print only reviewer name who gave less than? Okay, so these are the 2 people who are given a review. So you can put it whatever you want with this data. Okay,
Thanks.
everybody clear, guys? So far, everybody clear? Yes. Can you please put it in a chat? Everybody clear? Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Please give me some encouragement, guys. If yes, otherwise no, I can do some help. But please give a response. Okay. So
Yeah, good.
John is asking me to write a diagram. Okay. So let me write it here. Sorry, I can't able to hear you. Someone is saying something. So first thing is we were scraping the Google review. Okay, and we used Selenium. Beautiful soup. Okay. And next thing is so save the scrape data in CSV and in DB. Okay, so this is just writing a DB here. Understand the SQL, right? Okay, and after scraping the data, after saving the data in the SQLite, I use lang chain. LLM model for database. Okay, using line chain, open. Okay. Then after I have this one, I can do a query. Query with baby chain. Get query with the language input. Okay, so this is just a basic thing which I've just added here. Okay. That's it. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope everybody with me, even with the spelling, yeah, it will because we are working on a large language model. So when you say large language model, it has seen a lot of data and it can able to adapt to the mistakes also. Okay, yeah. Can someone please mention? Okay. Can we get the algorithm being used to extract the data? That is what's called a large language model. If you say LLM, large language model size. So let's say GPT-4 large language model. You don't have access to large language model data because they have trained immensely, and that is their proprietary, and that is their uh, intellectual property where they won't give, because that is where OpenAI stands. Okay, so they won't share it. So it is not for free that everybody can have an access to get the model weights. You just have an API to access the model to get the output. That's it. But you don't have a model object as such with you. Okay, so if you see this LLM model size, so see here, the size of the model is 1 trillion parameters you have. So with that size of the model, uh, it is enormous amount of model where it has huge weights and huge numbers there, where you cannot able to you cannot you cannot able to put it in your machine. Okay, so you're just doing a transfer learning from your data. That's it. Any other question? Okay. Okay, good. So now so far we have let's go to the next step. We have created a SQL query based on the language input what you give. Now let's go to the next step where somebody asked, so what if I want to ask the question like, can you say something about Inceptez, or can you say something about Noor, or can you say something about what kind of course they are training? All those questions which involves more intellectual, which involves more information about the data, more information about the language, knowing of language, everything. Being a human, you cannot read altogether 800 reviews and give a summary of it, but AI can do that. So it can read all 864 reviews and give a summary, or also it can able to answer any specific question whatever you ask inside that 864 reviews what you have. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, that is going to be very interesting. So now to do that, again, this is also another language model, LLM model. Okay, so here already, yeah. So here we are going to use this GPT simple vector index. So this is what we are going to use. for making that particular large language model with more intelligent of the reviews what we have. And now there are many other GPT-3, GPT-4 library which has been came up from different organization, where you can use their library to access the GPT-4 language model what they have trained. So we are going to use LLM model which is open sourced by Facebook. Okay, so if you just let me just check this. Okay, so you see this lemma. So when you say lemma, so lemma is open sourced by Facebook. Okay, so if I just say yeah, so you can see this Facebook. So introducing Llama, so which has been trained with 65 billion parameter large language model. So they have given this for free, and we are going to use this Llama model, which is this is the document for Llama model, where you can find how to use it and where to use it. Everything it has in this particular page. Another disclaimer: you don't have a proper question and answer or kind of a forum for this kind of a uh, uh, activity you do. We don't have enough forum. We don't find any answer in Stack Overflow if you are stuck in this particular activity, because it is very new. It is a weeks old or months old code, where there are a lot of beta things are having a lot of issues will be there, but still you can do some basic purpose whatever I have done, and also I have done in my organization also. So that is the reason I'm just showing you here. You won't find the answer very easily. So that is the caution, and that is the disclaimer I'm giving you. So you need to be very much uh, kind of a concern with sticking to this documentation. You don't find anything outside this documentation. You want to come back here in documentation and read through whatever the issues you have. Okay, fine. So here I'm going to use this GPT-3 GPT simple vector index, and using this I'm going to create a GPT index of the review what I have. Okay, I'm just going on a brief note, I'm just going scrolling through the code what I have written. Okay, so now first thing I'm going to do is, so whatever the data I have, so that is I have 4 columns, right? I'm just finding a summary of these 4 columns. That is the review, the reviewer, and the rating given for that review, and the past reviews. So this is a GPT 3.5 turbo engine I'm just running, and I'm asking, you are a summary expert, can you give me the summary for a given row? I'm just asking and passing the input of a given row. So let's say here, so here somewhere the control is still there. Let me close this control. Okay, fine. Yeah. Oh, this is still running. Okay. Yeah, this is the first review. Okay. My relative, someone referred to Inceptez Technologies join. So this is the review, and this is a rating 5-star, and reviewer name is BV Asha, and past reviews are 1 review they have given. So I want to convert this into a 1 summary, so that I will have 1 review with the detailed information about the other columns, whatever they have. So here there are only 4 columns. Let's say there are 10 columns. So if you want to give all the 10 columns to my GPT, I need to make a summary of it. So this is what I'm creating a summary. So for this particular information, I'm just converting into this information using again a GPT-3. So this is the input, output. This is the message column of a dictionary mentions that reviewers relative had referred them to technologies and they had joined Inceptez, all those things. And the rating column was 5-star, indicating the reviewer is highly satisfied with their experience. And the reviewer's name is BB Asha, and past reviews column mentions that they have previously given 1 review. So this is the summary of one particular review. Okay, so like this, I'm creating the summary review of each row given here. Okay, I'm just do a loop, and I'm running through 862 reviews. And if you see, I'm just running through and I'm just putting into a review summary. Okay, clear? Any questions? So if you want to, I need to save this as well. This is very important for me. Okay, so this is a review summary I have. So let me just save this. Surplus. Let's go. So once I have created this summary, based on that final column, I'm going to create a index. So this is the second step, where you want to create a JSON kind of an index, where we are going to refer the JSON to create the GPT tree index. Okay, so here if you see, we are going to create this JSON. Okay, this is going to be far. Okay. So if you see, I'm creating a output in a form of JSON. Okay, so whatever the data you have, I'm just referring only this review summary column. And for this review summary column, creating a name called review.json, and that JSON is going to be saved here. So this is a review.json. And using this JSON, I am going to create an index of a JSON. So this is it will be new. What is why JSON, why index, why review? So you need to understand this lemma index. This is how they have structured, and they have given their what can I say, their syntax and their input format, where we need to follow that, so that we can utilize their large language model for our own purpose, whatever we want to do. Okay, so that's why. So first thing is, I am going to create a summary column, and on the summary column, I'm going to create a JSON of that summary column, and from that JSON, I'm going to create an index of that particular JSON column. Yeah, this is new. Just watch out for the steps I'm telling you. Don't you cannot able to understand everything, but still the steps I'm telling, please watch out. That's enough. Okay, so once you have that index, you are going to create a model. So this is what a main model is. Okay, so I'm just telling what is the input size. I'm telling there are 4,966 token to be input for this model. And what is the number of outputs? I'm saying number of outputs to be 3,000 tokens. And what is the chunk overlap? 20 and 600. Again, how many chunks of data can be sent at a time, kind of a batch. So here I'm going to say prompt helper. So what is the size, whatever. I'm just specifying everything in this particular prompt helper object. Okay, and this is a large language model predictor output, how the output should be running. So I'm saying large language model should run in a way using a GPT 3.5 turbo. You can also change here any other model. So if you, this is again different models. There are different models which is having a different pricing. So if I just say OpenAI pricing, so this is how it is priced. So based on the model they have, it will be charged. So like GPT, yeah. So somewhere else also chat. Yeah, you can see this is it for chat. GPT 3.5 turbo. This is the name you want to give, and it is charged 0.002 dollar per 1,000 tokens. So for every 1,000 token you use, either you send us an input or get an output, you will be charged 0.002 cent or 0.002 dollar. Okay, or 0.2 cent or something. So that is why I have given here GPT 3.5 turbo. You can also, if you want it to be cheaper model, you can go with ADA, that is 0.004. Okay, 0.0004. Okay, text hyphen ADA you can just give. Okay, so okay, so that you can research whatever the kind of environment you want. Okay, so maximum tokens, all those numbers we have mentioned here, we are just using in this particular predictor function. Okay, and next is this two things is where I start talking about the index. So this GPT simple vector index is what I'm going to create an index based on the document whatever I have provided in this JSON, that is review JSON, and this will create a index. Okay, now this index is going to be my object. With this object is what I'm going to ask the question to the GPT-3 model of the data what I have trained. Okay, so that's it. And now using this, you can ask the question and get the answer. That's it. Okay, so now let me run this. One more thing I need to change. So usually in production, you don't have the key in the Python page. You have it in a separate file so that nobody get to access your access key. But here, just for our reference, and I'm just putting it here in front of you people. Yeah. So now I'm going to this.
No, is either index is like an embedding or what is that?
Yeah, index is like a not an embedding. It will be like a dictionary object. So this will be like this. You have each document, and it will have what is the data about the document and what is the document ID and what is the hashing, kind of an embedding with each information as a node.
Okay, so this is the, I mean, something like basically we are training the data with respect to this, and indexing is
kind of a model. You can think of like a model, like where using the node only, it will try to node and this document hash, it will try to summarize whatever the question you ask.
okay. So we can think like the turbo GPT for some whatever things is something like a algorithm, and I mean this is the model. Okay.
Yeah, it is a calculated trained model. Yeah, you can think of like that.
Yeah.
This is saying the data weight. So based on the review.json what you provide, so this will take time. So if your data is huge, this will take time, because to create an index, this is where altogether time will take to create a model for you. So here we have only 864 data, but still it is taking some time. But if you are using large data in for your own custom purpose, you need to give some time here. Or another thing is you should create a index on a batch process and keep it for you. And whenever in purpose, if you want to do some query on a specific JSON, you can just call that particular index and get the answer for you, instead of running it in a real-time purpose. So do it in a batch and keep it in a DB or keep it in a file system, and whatever the particular need you have, you call upon the specific index and get the answer for you. Okay. Let me stop this. Let me check whether with this particular review which I have saved, this can take it up.
One open question actually. There are many large LLMs which is released, right? So some things like GPT is chargeable. There are something like Dale, which is completely can train pervade data. So what is your
Dale is also chargeable. It is also a GPT-3 image model.
Okay. I mean, what my crux of the question is, there are many LLMs model, right?
Yeah,
I think currently, right? So
yeah,
what is
Stanford
your
also gave one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So things a
Apalka
plethora of
one.
things. The last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks, huge explore. Bombardment of all things. So what do you suggest? I think because we can do same thing with respect to various things. So what is your recommendation? The same task what you're performing?
Yeah, it again it depends on the requirement what you have, and depends upon the budget what you have. So if you're using GPT-3, obviously every model is using OpenAI GPT-3 for a predictor functionality. So in that case, if you are very much keen on the costing, then you can use a leased engine where which it will be costing very less. Basically, for me, if you are using your own custom data to build a Chat GPT-3, Llama model is what is people are preferring for right now. Stanford model is also there, but Stanford model, I'm not sure anybody used Stanford model for their own custom GPT-3. So Llama model have created these extensive documentation where you can use for your own document store and document tree, whatever you want, you can do this way. So maybe I'm very much comfortable with Llama. That might be the answer in this very early stage to come to a conclusion what is best so far. But for me, a Llama is what is very much efficient and very much easy, and you can find a lot of documentation for that. Other models, I'm not sure how extensive the documentations are.
Cost perspective, as well, it is cheaper, is it?
Sorry?
From cost perspective?
Cost perspective, I'm not sure. I really, frankly, I don't have knowledge about that.
Okay. No issues.
So you have, first thing is you have two different cost perspective. One is while training, you have a cost, and while predicting, you have a cost. Let's say you are training on a very big data, a huge data, and you are not very much concerned about the number of predictor is going to happen, then you need to have a good amount of models, spend more money on their training model. That is, you can give what is the engine on training model, what is the engine on predictor model. Okay. So that way you can take a trade-off, which one you can go off. But other than Lemma, I don't have a cost perspective analysis on Palka or Stanford, all those things. I don't have any idea, to be frank.
No issues. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, so here, yeah, so it is telling me my API is not working. Okay. Yeah, so now see the bot is on. If you give the question, it is giving you the answer. How can I help you? This is the answer we have got from the large language model, and you can see what is the number of tokens used and what is the embedding token used, number of embedding tokens used. And also here I have given okay, let me run this again. Let me check this so that we will. Okay, to stop this.
நான் சூனு சட்டம் வச்சதுல தான் இல்லையா தான் இல்லைன்னா டிராயிங் நான் சுத்தி தருவேன் கச போயிருந்தேன் லிசனிங் மாஸ்டர் ஓதை நீ கையோட எங்கே போயிட்டு ನಿನ್ನ ಬುಕ್ ಇತ್ತು ಬಾಳ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಿ ವಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಕಂಬ ನೀ ಕಂಬ ಬುಕ್ ಐತಿ
Somewhere else open. Oh, so anyway, I have put everything in GitHub. I will just share you the link of this notebook. You can just later you can just view. Okay, so yeah, see here. So for this particular training purpose, it costed me $0.026. Okay, and for how many embedding token it has created, and it is just giving you here. Okay, so that is what I want to show. So next is based on this review, you can ask the question now. Okay, now you can now ask the question whatever you want. So these are some of the questions which I've asked and I've got the answer here. Okay, let's say, can you tell me something about Inceptez? Yes, here. So Inceptez is a big data and data science training institute located in Chennai, India. It offers numerous learning opportunities through all those things. So based on the reviews we have given, it has learned from the review and giving this answer. Okay, and let me ask the question like I've just asked some question. Let me just frame the question. Yeah, let me just. So again, there is a huge traction on prompt engineering. So right now, the market is going to have a huge transition is going to happen. We don't know what is going to happen in the future, and we cannot get rid of AI. We cannot we cannot say that I don't need AI to do my job. It is going to be immensely important for AI to get adapted to each and everyone. And every investor is trying to reduce the employee by the help of AI, where they can do the task of number of people in their organization. They can cut down the cost of the employee, and they can invest in GPT to get their work done. So anybody who knows how to use the GPT, or I can say any AI tools, they are going to flourish in future. So it's like in the somebody somewhere in a talk I just heard that when a refrigerator was invented, a refrigerator company doesn't made huge profit than Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Because of refrigerator, the other company, they came up and used the strength of refrigerator, and they become billionaire and $1 trillion company. Similarly, GPT, OpenAI, they came up with this kind of a model, and they are going to make money, but by using their ability, there are a lot more company which is going to come and make huge profit because of that. And the money is going to be diversed, or money is going to be decentralized now from the AI model user. How AI model is getting utilized by the people, they are going to make a huge money now. That is why I'm telling you, there is something called prompt engineering. That is the person who can understand the model, who can understand how the AI have built, who can understand how to input and how to get the output. They are going to get huge traction, and they are going to be really wanted in coming days. So that is why I'm saying this designing the question how you ask and getting the answer how you want. This is going to be the next phase of the industry, uh, where they are going to be flourishing. Okay, so I have asked the question like write the below details on the mentor know from the reviews given by the student. Write the output with respect to the mentoring ability of a person given with the reviews in the bullet point. List the top 10 attributes of mentor Noor stated by his student in detail with heading, description, and strength. So this is the answer which is given by the GPT-3. That is knowledgeable, patient, supportive, encouraging, professional and flexible. So if you see, there is still there was an input output, but there is a cut here. Why? Because we have an output tokens which have given, that is 3000 tokens. So you can increase this token to make your output to be lengthier. So we have 3000 tokens. Because of that, it has stopped giving output after this. Okay, clear? Clear, guys? Any question? Can you please put in chat? Everybody clear? What is API? So API key is you want to create an API from this OpenAI. You go to this OpenAI page. So it's like, sorry, you want to API. So once you create an account, you can go to this page, and it will ask you for create an account. So create new secret key. This will create a secret key for you, and this will be built based on the data you available. Yeah. So usage limits. You can set what are the usage limits, and you will have a billing detail, and you want to give your card so that it can be billed. That's it. That is not a big deal, but still you want to create an organization kind of a setup, and you want to create a API key. Before that, you want to pass it on your card details. Any question? Is it clear? Pawan Kumar. Any other questions, guys? So far, are you people clear? Please reply with S if you are clear. Everybody, please reply with S or no. Yes, Prashant, yes, Prabhu, yes, Satyaraj, yes, thank you. Johnson, yes, Sujan, yes, thank you. Saravanan, yes, yes. Clear, guys? Okay, I'm assuming everybody's clear. Yeah, so this is now you have your own Chat GPT 3, and you can create a UI like a Chat GPT where you can ask the question, you can get the response from your model, whatever you have created. So to do that, again, I have created a simple UI kind of setup where I can ask the input and get a response from the GPT-3 and put it in a UI kind of setup. So I use a Streamlit to do that. Again, a Streamlit is a library which can help you in building your own UI setup in a very, very faster manner. You don't want to learn about CSS, you don't want to learn HTML, you don't want to learn any kind of templates, anything, nothing is needed. You can just use a Streamlit to create your own application in a minute. It's very simple. Okay, build an app. You can build an app just by using pip install Streamlit. You can build an app. Okay, so I have used Streamlit here. So if I just go through here, so here I am using this Streamlit. Okay, and here in Streamlit, st.title chatbot with Streamlit and Chatterbot. User input from the text area. I'm creating a text area and asking the input from the user. And once the text area is, once the input is given, this user input is pass it on this get bot response function. And this get bot response is calling this particular function with the message, the input, whatever I have got, and the JSON, the review JSON, whatever I have created. Now from this ask bot, this is going to use this, load this index from the GPT-3 vector index. And from this index, I'm going to query it and get the answer. So that's it. Okay. So now we are going to run this. Let me change my API key. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So now let me run the Streamlit. To run the Streamlit application, you just need to go to the terminal. Okay. Open the yeah.
Noor, you have missed the last character from the API key.
Sorry, I can't able to hear you. Your voice is very, very feeble.
Yeah, you missed the last character from the API key.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you. Okay. So I'm just opening the terminal. And this one. Yeah, this one. So here, can you see my terminal? Can you see my terminal, guys? Yes or no? Okay. So here, I'm just putting this ls. So here, this is where my Python is there, where it is a Streamlit application. So to run this application, very simple, Streamlit run and give this chat.py. If I run this, this is going to load the index JSON and make your JSON to run, and it will open a browser with Streamlit with this particular URL. Let me just go to this URL. So if I try to open this URL, okay, simple, that's it. So API is created, and if I just run this file, let me check whether it is running. So here you can see this is running, and yeah, we are getting the output. How can I help you? And if you see this terminal, they should have the output here also. I'm just printing here also. Okay, so now let me ask the question. Let me ask this question, a big question. That is, list top 5 most frequently mentioned problems that institute need to fix based on these reviews provided. This problem should not have overlap of include the top count of reviews. Let me make it positive. Save that. Mention positive. Was the institute was and the and this will go to the input. If you see here, the input will go to GPT-3, and from there you will get a response back here. Okay, this is the output you have got. So knowledgeable instructor, 7 reviews, well organized curriculum, motivation and support, comfortable pace. So these are the reviews, and you can see these are the people who have given these reviews. With name also it is giving us, right? Yeah, so you can, let me now say, can you let me just input about, ask something about Irfan. Can you Can you know? Do you know? Okay, do you know? Anything? Oh, zero funds. Okay. And just telling it doesn't anything with fund. Can you tell me the mentors mentioned in the review? Yeah, it is telling the mentors mentioned in the reviews are Bharat, Irfan, Venkatesh, Elumalai. It is missing my name. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you can build a chatbot for your own organization with the data, whatever you have. And you can build your chatbot to be more intellectual based on choosing the model with high end and high cost model, which will be more powerful as well. Okay. And more the data, better the result. That is the universal formula for any AI machines. Okay, so here we have only 800 data. So if you have more data, your output, your model will learn much more, and you will have a good amount of result. Any questions so far?
Noor, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Since this GPT is quite generative, so how do we ensure that it would not create anything out of the context that we ask? So, for example, if some user asks a question irrelevant to Inceptez, are irrelevant to the mentors, how will it respond, and how are we restricting such questions and make the LLM stick to the context that we have that we want it to provide?
Yeah, so that's a good question. First thing is we cannot control LLM model. Okay, so AI LLM model is out of our hand, and we cannot able to we cannot control. It is the user how they want to prompt the right question and get the answer. If they are going to ask the irrelevant question, it will throw some irrelevant answer, which may not be true for Inceptez as well. Okay, let's say if I ask what is, okay, let me give you an example here. What is the good part of this restaurant? Let me just say this is a restaurant and asking about the reviews of this restaurant. So this will consider that the institute data, whatever we have given, it will consider as a restaurant data, restaurant review. See, your output is good part of the restaurant is a good place to learn technology. Got my point?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it will think that data is all about restaurant, and it is giving this answer based on the edtech output. Technology tutors are well informed and subject and create an educational content. Yeah, everything is given based on the edtech output, but input, when you say I'm asking about the restaurant. So that is where I'm saying prompt engineer who is designing the question to ask the GPT model to get the relevant answer what they want. Okay, so if you still want to restrict the question what what you want to restrict, you can place another firewall before sending to GPT-3, where if the question is not about this particular information, you just stop by giving a default answer that this is not a relevant output or something, where you can create a firewall in between the GPT-3 and the input getting asked. Clear?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So Noor Johnson,
Yeah.
probably it's very simple that whenever we are asking a right question, we will be getting a more closer answer or more
Yeah.
accurate answer.
Yeah.
So for example, if you want to ask something on the domain, say for example, finance or banking or anything, so your domain knowledge is also very important to frame the right questions or the prompt engineering side. Is that correct?
Yeah, obviously. So if you know, weeks back, Bloomberg also came up with their own GPT machine, right? So there again, like you said, financial, the GPT-3 would have trained more on financial data, more on currency data, more on stocks data. So in that case, you want to understand, or the model can understand the short forms of stocks, short forms of finance, all those things it can understand better than a generic chat GPT model.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yeah, so now this Streamlit application is running in my local. I can make this application into a cloud also. So to make it in a cloud, it's very simple. You can just put it in a GitHub, and from there you can just push it to Streamlit application. Okay. Right now, my model is there in Streamlit server, but still the API keys I cannot able to share there. So I will just show you how to do that. You can just, yeah, this is my app which is running. So it's simply, you can just create a new app here. So new app, and you can tell what is your GitHub. So this is a GitHub where I have placed this particular code, and you can just deploy. So this will deploy, and it will be there available in a minute. So if you say this one is my deployed app, which as I said, this won't run actually, and my API keys has been changed, right? So it won't give me the output. So let me check. It should not work actually, because API key is wrong, right? Yeah, see, but yeah, this can be used by anybody. So you can also use, but you won't get an output because of API key error. Clear? Any doubts? Any questions? Everybody clear? Can you please give me a heads up? Can I able to get this notebook that I was? Yeah, I'll just share you. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you guys. So now let me go back to the notebook, sorry, PPT, where we have discussed about the chatbot. We have discussed about the chatbot design, what we have data scraping and extracting the insights, connecting the dots, right? So real world examples we have just seen. So it is just only the input data, it is going to differ. So if you want to create your own, you just want to input your own data to create an index out of it. Okay. So now for this particular architecture, what can I say? So here, so from this data, LLM model, from this data, what you have, we are going to create a summary of the rows using GPT. Okay, so now once you have created a summary, create a review.json of the summary column. Okay, so once you have that summary column ready, you will be using a simple GPT, simple GPT vector index. So this one. create a GPT, simple GPT vector index. Okay. So once you have this GPT vector index, you are going to create a prompt. Okay, from here, you are going to create a prompt setup with all the necessary parameter. When I say necessary parameter, what is the input range, what is the output range, what is the model you are going to use, and what is the chunk value, all those things you will be using. And now using this index, you can say I can swap this. Okay, so now input your question will get answer. Okay, that's it. Any question? Any question, guys? Any question, guys? If there is no question, I'll just go to the next topic. That is going to be very simple again. Now it has become a toy example. That is a real-time object detection. So I'll take another. So what is the time now? So I'll take another 10-15 minutes so that I'll just go fast. So it's a real-time object detection where you want to detect an object on a real-time basis. So this can be used in, say, in a webcam. It can be used in CCTV camera. It can be used in security camera, where you want to find what is happening in a real-time basis. What is an object which is there, or who is coming, and how many object is coming. It can be in a traffic. How many cars are coming? How many vehicles are coming? If you want to find it, so you can do it in a real-time basis using an object detection technique. So we are using a YOLO, which is you only look once. This is a great technology where it has been introduced. So the latest version of YOLO is introduced on 2020, where 2020 or 2019, I think, where it has become very faster in terms of detecting the objects in a real-time manner. So before in a CCTV camera or in a security camera, you have a camera, but somebody needs to monitor what is happening, right? So instead of you give an intelligent to the camera, where intelligent is, it can detect if somebody a suspicious person is coming to your house, or somebody is coming on a particular time, or or somebody or some object is coming in or some animal is coming in your boundary, where it can be a threat to other people or other animal or other pet animal you have. So if you want to give intelligence to your camera or a surveillance camera or anything, you can use this YOLO technology so that it can find it on a very faster manner, on a real-time basis, where it can trigger or it can notify you on a real-time basis, right? So that is where YOLO is used for. So if you want to understand YOLO, you want to understand what is CNN, convolution neural network, you want to understand deep CNN. We have a lot of other technology which has been there, and after a lot of research, YOLO have been came, and this have proven technology where it can be used in real time, which is very faster. Okay, so it is a basic technology for self-driving cars, where in a self-driving car, the car should identify what is there in front of the car, whether it is a paper bag, or whether it is a stone, or whether it is some object where it should avoid, or whether it should drive over, or what is the signal, what is the whether it is a red or blue or green, what should we do? What should it do because of that particular color? Right? There's a lot of things to be identified. Based on the identification, it needs to take a decision. So self-driving car, security cameras, robotics, all the robots, right? So robots, when you see a lot of robots coming in today's world, it needs to identify what is happening in front of them. So that is also this aero technologies used there. Medical imaging, agriculture. Yeah, there is a lot of use cases coming in agriculture because of this aero technology, right? So yeah, real life example, detecting people and cars in parking lot. So who is coming? So if there is a parking which is mentioned for certain people, if somebody is parking in your place, your technology can identify the suspicious person and give you a notification that somebody is parking in your place, right? Or object identify objects on a conveyor belt, yeah, monitoring traffic flow on highway, yeah, all those things which is a part of a self-driving car. Okay, so what is the advantage of this? It is very cost effective. It is very cheap, you can say, than CNN, which is there, which is a predecessor of this particular technology. The cost is very less, increased efficiency and improved safety as well. Yeah. So now I just want to show you this particular AI object detection technology on a very short note. I didn't went much into the technology. I just want to show you a real-time application. Yeah. So okay, let me show you what is the code. Code is very simple, guys. It was a fascinating project, let's say before 4 years, but now it has become a toy example. To be frank, it has become a toy example. So now here I just want to show you what is this object detection here, and this is the code. Yeah, that's it. This is what the code is. We are going to use this OpenCV. So CV2 is this OpenCV technology, face recognition, and this face recognition OpenCV is what the two primary libraries used here. Okay, and with this I'm going to use my web camera as a CCTV, you can think of, and from that web camera I'm going to detect what is the object which is there in front of my webcam. Okay, and you can think of I'm just converting my webcam into a CCTV camera. Okay, and from there I'm going to detect the object. And now how many objects I can detect? So there are this is a trained object, again a darknet YOLO is a trained object where it can identify around 80 different object, not more than that. Okay, so if you see what is all that object, so these are the 80 objects which it can identify: person, bicycle, car, motorbike, aeroplane, bus, train, truck. So these are the objects which can identify. Apart from this object, it cannot identify. So they need to come up with the model, or we can train our model with that particular object, what we are more concerned with, and it can identify that particular object. Okay, so for now, it can only identify this object. Okay, so that is a disclaimer. So fine. Now let me run this. So I'm just running this Python 3 YOLO video, YOLO_video.py. There's a library. Sorry, this is a Python file which I have showed you. Just run this. This should open up a pop-up window where it should, yeah, it have opened. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, guys? Yes or no? Can you please respond?
Yes, no.
Yeah, see here. So it is identifying it is a person, or let's say if I just call this, it is a cell, it is telling it is a cell phone, or if I just ask this, Identifying. I have a. No. Yeah, it is telling it is a bottle, right? Yeah, what else? I go to the book. The signature person, yeah. Yeah, so within that particular 80 object, it can identify, let's say, CEO. Yeah, it is identifying. Is it identifying? It identifies keyboard. Yeah, fine. Anyway, so with that 80 objects which has been trained, it can able to give you the answer. Okay, so yeah, so that's it all about. I just want to take another 5 to 10 minutes just to give a brief overview and also what is happening in the real world right now. So any questions so far? Are you everybody clear? So I know I didn't taught you how to use that. We have just what is happening underneath. I've just showed you what is what. That's it. Okay. So now we can able to see the AI can able to generate the text. It can able to summarize the text. It can able to give you the suggestions. It can able to give you the roadmap. So there is something called Auto GPT which have came up. It can do wonders. It can do what we have never thought about. You go and search for Auto GPT. So there is a lot more things happening, and with the help of this Auto GPT and GPT itself, there is a lot of tools is creating, and it is doing enormous job, and it is doing some fascinating job where human cannot do that. And if human is doing it, there is a lot of resource to be synchronized to get together to get that particular technology. So now we are in a phase where AI is taken some lead from the human race. So the AI can understand what you say, AI can see what you see, AI can generate what you cannot generate, right? There is a lot of technology have come in. So now the real question is whether AI is boon or a ban. Can you please give me an answer, boon or a ban? And I say, it is going to help us or it is going to destroy us? Yes or no?
Frankly, both. It's based on how we use it.
Okay, both. Yeah. Any other answer? Fast.
Yeah, no, like I belongs to infra domain. So, for example, like I'm mostly working on the Oracle database. Now the technology, like uh, the AI using machine learning models and all this stuff, like the Oracle itself release autonomous database. So it's completely like DB intervention is not required for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so simply like if SaaS, if they're providing, so simply if you purchase database service, they'll share the connective details. That's it. All the
That's it.
DBA activities
Okay.
done. Yeah.
Yes.
Traditional work is
Very true.
done. No.
Very true. Very true. Any other answer, guys? This is a very important topic and very important thing to have an interaction. So tell me, what do you think? It will reduce low skill jobs and add more innovative job roles. Yeah. Good. The bone. Okay. Fine. So there was a saying, will AI replace you? Will AI replace you? That is what there is a long time answer. People are long time question people are raising. But now the answer is AI have already replaced many people. That is a true answer. AI can do a lot of job what human cannot do. In that case, AI can also do what human can do, right? If it can do what we cannot do, obviously it can do what we can do. Am I right? Everybody, yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no? Ping
Yeah.
me. Right? So it's very obvious true that it can do uh, whatever it can do, and it can easily replace human being, and it has replaced human being. And the present job cut, there is also macroeconomics going on, but the sad truth is, due to GPT, due to this lot of AI, which is kind of evolving day by day, there is a lot of risk happening in the job environment. Let's say content writing. Do you really need a content writing nowadays? Because of chat GPT, you can just write, give a context what you want, right? And it can able to write a context for you very easily. It can able to write an article for you very easily. It can able to write a book also, if you know. So chat GPT, and it can the job of design is also a mistake. The designer who designed uh, the the website, or who designed the uh, what can I say, the pictures, or who design a logo, all those jobs also on a stake. It can easy, you just give a description of what you want, and it can able to give you, generate the image for you very easily. Or it can combine two different images and give you a third image, which we never thought about. So all those things is evolving, and lot of jobs is on risk, is on a stake, right? So any routine job, any repetitive task, kind of a data entry, or assembling something, or doing the same job again and again, or doing cut and copy paste, or all those things, all those kind of a job is gone. So it is on high risk that these kind of job will persist in coming year or couple of year. It is very likely these kind of job will be replaced by chat GPT itself. And chat GPT is not going to stop. It is going to evolve. There is a lot of other companies going to come up with chat GPT like environment, like Google came up with the Bard. They are not going to stop. They are just going to go for a race and come up with a new technology coming, and it can do a lot of wonders where human being is going to be stand still. We cannot evolve over a period of time. We need some time. We learn gradually. We grow gradually, but AI is evolving exponentially. It is evolving exponentially. It can do a lot of things what we cannot do in a certain period of time. So now, what can we do to make our job relevant, make our job uh, standard, and make our job evolving as in our career growth is concerned? So only thing we can do is to adapt this AI technology. Only thing to do is we need to learn this AI technology. So the person who is going to be on par with other employees is going to be the person who knows how to use AI. So that is for sure. So let's say that uh, before 100 years people are walking, and they used to walk and reach a destination, and it may take days, months to travel a certain distance. And now after that, after at that moment of time, there is motors invented, cars invented, bike invented, bicycle invented. And now, at that moment of time, people are adapting to those technology, and people started moving the destination on a very faster pace. Because of that, what happened, the people who were walking, they stopped walking. Or people who were using bullock cart, the people who are using the human cart, which people used to drag and go. Or people who are using a mechanical way of traveling, they lost their job. And the people who adapted very fast in driving the car, driving the bicycle, driving the motorcycle, gain the traction, and they have evolved, and they gain a lot of profit. And over a period of time, what happened, that become a very necessary skill. That you cannot say that I don't ride bicycle, I don't know how to ride a bicycle. And nobody says here, I hope nobody says here, I don't know to ride a bike. Or at least nobody says, or most of the people, nobody says here that I don't know how to ride a car. It has become very basic necessity for us to adapt to the technology. If you're not adapting to it, you are going to be a loser. If you go and say that I don't know to ride a bicycle, people will think you are someone who cannot able to adapt, or people will think you are someone who cannot learn something new. right? Or you're always going to be dependent with others. You cannot go from place A to place B without the help of other person in a bicycle to ride for you, right? So these kind of thing is going to happen with AI also. We were writing code, we were learning code. Nowadays, you don't write a code. You just go and give a description in the Chat GPT, and it is going to give a code for you, which is going to be 10x efficient, which is going to be more efficient, and is going to be more of more time complex and space complex code, where it can be very efficient in terms of resource and in terms of time, right? Before we were writing, we will write a code for two hours, and then we want to find whether it is going to be time complex efficient or space complex efficient. But now you can just write a description where I want this kind of code, and it needs to be in a time complexity of 0, order of 1, and it needs a space complexity of order of 1. It can give you a code for you. That's it. Very simple. You don't want to learn about that also. It's become very simple. So now you want to adapt how to use that. You want to adapt how the technology is used. You want to adapt how can you use the technology to build your own product or your own company or your own ideas you want to bring up with that technology. So that is how you can learn, and that is how you can strive, and that is where you can grow. Okay, so reskilling is very much important nowadays. Nobody can say here that I don't know AI. So that's how the market is moved. Similarly, like 10-15 years back, if somebody is in IT, and if they say I don't know Java, I don't know C, nobody is going to believe you are an IT guy. So that is how now AI has become. Everybody should know AI. Everybody should know what is the technology behind AI. So that is how we need to adapt. So we cannot say that I don't want anything. I need something. I need AI to evolve myself, to grow myself. That is how we need to phrase ourselves, right? So this emerging technology is going to be the people who are working with the data, the people who are working with the creative jobs where GPT or AI cannot replace. Okay, so you need to find that kind of a profession where you want to excel in your domain. Plus, with that domain knowledge, you want to make sure what you can do with the domain knowledge with your capability of creativity. So that is very much important. Okay, in addition to that, creativity, as I said, emotional intelligence and communication is very much important. Because if you want to write a PPT, you just need 30 seconds to create a PPT. You believe me or not, I created this PPT in a matter of 10 minutes. All this PPT I created in 10 minutes. You don't want to create a PPT also. You just don't want to sit and do the design for you. You don't want to write things, think about the data and write it. You just say what you want. It is going to be done for you in a matter of 30 seconds. And with that data, what you want to communicate better. You want to connect to the people emotionally, right? So all those things are very much important. And on top of that, the networking is very much important. How you network with people, how you collaborate with people. So remote work is going to be there for coming days as well. Okay, so it's now we need to adapt these technology to stand in a race. Okay, so that is where we are here. So that is where we are as an Inceptez. So we do teach data science, we do teach big data, we do teach Tableau, we do teach all the extensive skill required for data science to become a data scientist. And we have an extensive course of 10 months period, and we do teach each and everything starting from statistics, probabilities, Python basics to machine learning, deep learning, NLP, Tableau, big data, and cloud deployments. All those things we teach in this 10 months. So this technology is nowadays become a very basic necessity for any IT profession. So it is now you need to take the decision to control your future. Okay, so whoever is interested, you can reach out to Basit, and we will be starting our course. The next batch is going to start on May first week, that is April last week, we'll have an introduction class, and May first week officially will start the session, and you people can reach out to Basit regarding that course thing. That's it from me. Any questions if you have, I can take it. Otherwise, we are good to go.
Nora, quick question. So, what is computer vision and what is the role of computer vision? So, I'm just trying to
that is
understand the
we
basic.
saw this YOLO, right? This is a computer vision where you are giving a vision to computer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
YOLO is a computer vision, yeah.
Okay.
Where you have an image, understand the image.
Okay.
Any other question? So we will be learning that also in our class, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I told you, right? The infra, most of the traditional and the repetitive jobs are migrate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it has moved to the artificial intelligence kind of the tool. Actually, many tools they Oracle introduced, so that tool will take care of the repetitive jobs right now. So likewise in data science also, compared with the 2 years before and currently, is there any other advanced features are there or?
Yeah. Very good question. Yeah, even there is a lot of advancement happening in data science domain as well. Before we were using statistics, probabilities. We never use statistics and probabilities nowadays. We just use library, and nowadays we went ahead in going with auto ML, where you just give a data and your auto ML library will do everything and run all the algorithm with your data and give you what is the best algorithm we can go for. And it can also deploy it for you on a very on a very few clicks of data. So it has evolved on a great extent, but it is a lot more to come here. I want to understand everything. Yeah, like I said, Chat GPT we are using, but we don't know how it is. A lot of people doesn't know how it is working underneath. So you should learn what is happening underneath as well, so that you can be a better data scientist. There is a lot of algorithm which you can use. You can just call and use it. That's it. But you should understand what is the underneath algorithm, underneath mathematics running behind. So that will make you a top-notch data scientist.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, Nuruddin, this is Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are able to recollect me. I attended around 7 years back your class in machine learning and deep learning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do understand. I do can recollect. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact,
how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Noor. In fact, me and my daughter, she was doing her BTech.
You're in DXC, right? DXC.
Exactly. So first of all, let me take this opportunity to thank you and your fan a lot, because first and foremost is that my daughter, she got an admission to Carnegie Mellon University in the natural language department.
Happy for her.
And she completed her MS and she got a job also in US. She well settled now. And thank you so much. We started the journey with you and Irfan. And thank you so much for all the support. And it's great to see you again. And great to know that you are going to start a new batch with all this new technology related to Chat GPT and AML. Thank you so much, Irfan.
Thank you, Johnson. Thank you. I'm happy for her, and thanks for your encouraging words.
Thank you.
Any other question, guys? Yeah, so if there is no question, then yeah, we can wind up the session. And if you have any question, any information needed on the new batch, you can reach out to Basit, and he will give you the information necessary. Thank you, guys. All the best and happy learning. And I will be sharing the GitHub to you in the WhatsApp group what we have created, and from there you can take it on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Satyaraj. Thank you, Rajkumar. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Johnson. Thank you, Subha. Thank you, Mohan. Thank you, Mari. Thank you, Siva. Thank you, Prashant. Yeah, Irfan, become non-IT people can join. Yeah, you can join, but you should understand something on programming. We will be teaching you programming from the scratch. So it is up to you how you can catch up with learning a new programming language. So that effort should be there from you. But there are people who joined without knowing programming language and they did flourished. And they got job before completing the class as well. I do have a testimony of that kind of a people also. Yeah, any other? Thank you, Deep Sharit. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Jamila. Thank you, Subha. Thank you. Yeah, so thanks, John. Yeah, spending 4 hours is a good time. Yeah, I cannot comment on that because there is a lot of prerequisites to understand the technology. So like I said, YOLO, to understand YOLO, you need to understand what is CNN. To understand CNN, you need to understand what is neural networks. So these have some interlinked technology where it has been evolved over the period of time. So that may take more time. So when you say CNN, I do teach CNN for, so let's say 4 to 6 hours, and neural networks again of 4 hours. So that is 10 hours of mentoring, and then YOLO separate class of 4 hours. So totally I can say it's 15 hours of learning to understand YOLO in my class. So if you know something on the prerequisite, you can learn and you can catch up in 4 hours. Yeah. Thanks, John. Okay. Thank you, guys. Just winding up the session. Bye.